All right, how we doing, everybody? I did it. We're there. I finally passed the Trade the Pool 50K Eval account. I'm going to show you all the account breakdowns, what happened after I passed the account, explain all that to you. I'm going to tell you how I passed this Eval account. I'm going to have some good free offers for you in this video. I'm going to show you my first trade in the funded 50K account, and I'm going to show you the interview that I had with Trade the Pool's CEO. If you guys don't know what Trade the Pool is, maybe you're coming from the futures world, it's basically the same as a funded futures platform, except it's involving mainly stocks. They have several different programs that you can choose from, and just like any funded futures program, you use minimal capital upfront, try to pass an evaluation account, and if you do, you get funded with, whatever buying power it may be. You see they have several levels here on the main screen, starting all the way down at $5,000 up to $200,000, day trading or swing trading, and within each price level is going to be different things that you can do, and you can start for as little as $47. Is it even more for beginning? No, 47 looks like the lowest you can start with there. If you guys are interested in checking out and signing up for Trade the Pool, I do have a link down in the description below. But we're going to show you everything that I did to get to this funded phase with them. All right, so the first thing I'm going to show you is my account overview. This is right inside my Trade the Pool login. You can see it took me 2 tries. So this was my first 50K flex account that I bought and tried. Because I trade normally elsewhere, it took some getting used to for me, the sizing on things with the different buying power than I'm used to. So it took a little bit of getting used to, and I took some losses there. And I ended up blowing that account, just I think mainly because of the sizing and maybe because of some bad trades, just kind of messing around with it a little bit. Took the second account more seriously here on the Flex 50 and kind of honed in on the sizing that I needed. If we go into the dashboard here, this is what you're going to see in any of your accounts that you may have if it loads up for me here. Yes, so you can see here we go. Along the way, it's going to show you all my statistics and what you need in order to pass. So obviously you need to hit on the 50K flex. It's going to be the same percentage, I think, for every account, but different price targets based on those accounts. You need to hit a profit target of $3,000. I got just over it because of my very last trade. I was trying to do just that. You cannot go past a 48,000 balance or a $2,000 loss on the account. That's when you would essentially fail that evaluation account. And on any given day, you cannot lose more than $1,000. That's where it will pause you. It won't stop you exactly at 1,000. If you get some slippage on your trade, you will go past that number, but that's where it will automatically stop you on any of your trades. Some other things that you have to do, you have to have at least 10 trades. And your best trade can't be more than 50% of your profit target. So in this case, you can't get past $1,500 on any one trade. You can see I wasn't even close at a 13% mark was my highest trade value on there. And that was on AREB on October 9th. Now, if you guys don't know my strategy at all, I will try to remember to link the video up above where I go into great length and detail about my strategy, but you're going to see my trade today, my first trade in the actual funded account, and kind of maybe get an idea. This is what you're going to be seeing and being like, what the heck is that? The risk reward ratio 1 to 0.3, but risk reward ratio has to go hand in hand with the success rate for whatever your strategy is. My strategy has a very high success rate, but the losers can be bigger than the winners. And that's why you could see that even with this risk reward ratio, with a almost 93% win rate on the account, was able to pass this thing pretty easily. You could see started in the green here, went slightly up. I did have one max loss day on, what's that, October 15th. One max loss day, and then just straight up from there. So that's where an account like this too is good if you're using a strategy like mine, because it's going to auto give you that max loss that you're going to hit. So you're not going to have to battle with that mental battles along the way. So you could see here, it's just, especially towards the end, I was going a little bit smaller size, trying to get towards the profit target. Just win, 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 win. Was that my only loss? I can't really remember. So yes, here it is on October 15th. Was a max loss on SMR. I've actually lost a few times on that Oh, I did have a loss right at the beginning too. The very second day, it looks like, or first day, it looks like I actually took a win in the morning and then a loss and then a win. So I was actually green on the day. I can't even remember because that was just a little over a month ago. Green on the day, but I did take a losing trade within that day. So you can see all the trades there that I took along the way. What happens if I click on them? Like, what if I click on this trade? Okay, it just shows you the executions. I didn't know if it showed you the chart or anything like that. But my advanced statistics here, you can pause the video and check that out if you're really interested. Okay, so you may be asking what happens once you pass the evaluation stage. What's going to happen is whatever account it may be that you passed on, it's going to like immediately kind of lock you out. It's not going to say disabled like this immediately. It's going to say risk evaluation or in risk evaluation, something like that, where they go back and they're going to quickly verify all your things. I think it was less than 24 hours for mine. And in the meantime, you got to go through and do a bunch of different like verifications of who you are, sign up for the payment system if applicable, and all that stuff. I think I have a few screenshots here that I'm gonna put up for you guys to see kind of what that process looks like. And then 24 hours later, you're going to get your brand new funded. For me, it was the Flex 50, whatever type of account it may be, once you get the full approval there. And it's going to look basically the same, except you are going to have new login credentials that you're going to have to put into the trading platform enabled to get that. Giving you a little sneak peek of how today's trade went, which I will show you, but up 140 today. And if we show you the top here, there's now this withdrawal button. This withdrawal button is currently grayed out, but you can see the minimum you can withdraw is $300. So my current available balance is 98 because of the profit share, which I believe is 80-20. If those math numbers check out, believe that's 80-20 there on the profit share. So I have to get to, you know, at least beyond 300 before I can do any kind of cash out. Not planning on doing any unless I can get well past that, kind of is the plan there. But it'll give you your credentials here if you click on that button for your login, and you'll be good to go from there. And your account's going to look exactly the same. You can see you have to have the same thing. Your profit can't be more than 50% on any one given trade. It's at 100% right now because I only have one trade, but that's going to change as you go. You have to have a minimum of 10 trades, and you have to have a minimum of 3 profitable days. And that is pretty much it. There's a bunch of other rules that you have to consider as you go in. Like you can't trade anything that has under 200K of volume. You have to wait at least 30 seconds before closing out a trade, and you have to get at least 10 cents on any given move. I will tell you, I learned one thing about that 10-cent rule is the platform's going to show you down to 2 decimal places, just the penny, but they do factor in on the back end the actual decimals, so it may be a little bit off of what it's showing you. So my suggestion is go at least 11 cents so that you don't run into any problems with that if you are trading lower prices that are making that type of move, like I have several times. I ran into that on this last funded account, but I talked to them about it, and they understood my point of view, and they were willing to switch it over to a green trade for me there after we talked. So I appreciated that. But it is one thing that you should know. Also keep in mind, it is basically you know, not real trading, so you have to get filled on either the bid or the ask. If you're short or long, you're not just going to get those actual fills like you would in a market scenario where it might shoot up and actually get you. If you're on the ask with a short, you got to wait for the bid to actually get up to that price number. So just things to keep in mind if you choose to try it out with Trade the Pool. But the way I did this is with the exact same strategy that I have used for years now. It is the intensity strategy using the intensity stopwatch scanner. So if you go to my link down in the description below, of course, I do have great discounts for the intensity scanner, which is what I use to find all of my plays. It's going to show you the ones that are making those big moves that I then take the reversals on, and you can use it in a number of different ways. You don't have to use it the way I do. Maybe you wait for it to make the big move and then find a pattern from there that you liked for either a continuation or a reversal. That may be up to you, but you are going to get 20 to 30% off with the link down in the description and code GDTISW. Also, if you are watching this video, I am offering a 1-week free trial of the Team ISW VIP. That is the entire scanner, everything included. It has the chat rooms with me, the scanner creator, some other guys in there, access to every single chat. So you can get that free for 1 month. You can either email me, garagedaytrader@gmail.com, or leave a comment down in the comments below saying you want it, and I'll hook up with you and make sure that we get that for you. But if you don't know, the ISW, as we call it, the ISW scanner is the, in my opinion, best scanner out there on the market. It gives you an ideal intensity indicator, which gives you a great edge over the market because it tells you when things are not only overbought or oversold like a regular scanner would, but it's going to give you the I3 number, I call it. It's actually technically call it something else, but I call it the I3 number, which tells you the probability of how it's going to, the likelihood that's going to pull back. And it gives you that number before the pullback is the important part. It doesn't wait for the move and then it starts to see the pullback coming. That number is alerting you before the pullback happens so that you can get ready and make your plan and go from there before it actually is done. It's all done in real time. It has a ton of customizable scans, ton of tools. It's got so much stuff that I can't even show you guys, but I do have some much longer videos here on my channel if you want to learn more. Okay, so the next part of the video, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the first trade that I took here. It gives you a little sneak peek into my strategy. On the actual video, you're not going to see every scan that I have. You're just going to see the main one, but you will hear it audibly alerting me in the background of the stock that's making the move before the reversal happens. That gives me the opportunity to get today's first screen trade, so I hope you enjoy. All right, ANVS trying to make the bigger push here. Can you maybe get up into the 340s? Been watching it all morning long, waiting for the correct move. Can I make a move into the 340s here on its way to a 350 test? Or is it going to get stuck right here at 330 and make me wait again? Kind of been the story of the day so far. A lot of things almost making moves and then just chilling. Would love to get the first trade here on the funded 50K trade the pool account, but not going to force something for the sake of forcing something. Needed to make the actual move. Can it go? All right, here we go. It's moving. Can it keep going here? Yes, keep going. Keep pushing.
ANVS.
Don't stop yet. Keep going. Come on, a little bit more here, ANVS. This is the move. Come on. Don't stop. Don't let that just be the volume surge there. Get up and go some more. All right, here we go. Keep going.
ANVS.
All right, I'm going to get in here, starter. I'm in at 369. Starter with 1,000. See if it gets through 380. See if it comes back down towards 350 for the cover. Otherwise, still over the 380s for the add. I'll go ahead and put the 1,000 out at 354, just in case it makes a real quick move. Order sitting at 354 here. Can it get back down close? Got right to it there. Didn't quite get it yet. All right, coming back down. Can I get it this time? All right, and got it right there. So finally got the first trade here on the funded 50K here with Trade the Pool, making 140 there after commissions. And I'm finally going to call it a day. So we are now through the first trade here on the fully funded account with Trade the Pool. I've shown you guys a bunch of inside stuff with it if you are thinking about how it all works or don't really know. And this morning I actually did an interview for the funded traders that they get in Trade the Pool with the CEO of Trade the Pool, and I recorded it. I didn't tell them I was recording it, but they're going to put it out anyway on their channel. So you may see me over there, or maybe you saw me over there first before you came here. Here's that interview.
Welcome everybody to another funded of Trade the Pool. Today, Justin is with me, a new funded trader of the 50K Flex account. Thanks for coming, Justin.
Absolutely, no problem.
And I see the background, so good morning.
Yes, good morning.
So Justin, we'll talk about your account in a second, but let's dive into your background a little bit. How long you've been trading for?
I've been trading for a long time now, probably like 8 years or so. If I'm doing my math right, I think I started in 2017, 2018, something along those lines. So it's not something new for me, no.
Okay. And so now I understand, because you passed the evaluation on your second attempt, right? You had
Mm-hmm.
one attempt, failed it,
Yep.
and then passed it, which is very rare. In most cases, we will see guys trading 3 to 5 accounts before they
Right.
actually pass the evaluation. So I guess the experience and the knowledge that you came with gave you that boost.
Yeah, it was also a little bit of just a proof of concept, and I had to change my thinking a little bit because I still have like a main account that I trade, but I
Mhm.
wanted to come and try out trade the pool as well because of a few reasons. I wanted to see if it was a viable option out there for people who maybe can't get a full like U.S. Funded PDT account with how the laws are currently, and then it provides like the opportunity to trade some stocks that I might not be able to trade just because of the nature of the trading platforms and how everything works and all that. So I was actually kind of mad at myself that it took me more than one, but I had to change my thinking a little bit to like buying power and numbers and all that stuff. So it took me a trial run to get that through my brain.
Yeah. No, you did amazing, really fast passing it. And tell me a little bit about your trading style. I mean, you've been
Hmm.
doing it for quite a while.
Yeah, definitely started with different styles and when I was first learning years ago, but I've over the last probably 4 or 5 years or so have locked into what I do now, which is just based off of stocks that are making I call them intense moves. They're making moves that are unnatural, either up or down, in a faster manner than they normally would. And then I take the reversal using a 1-1-2 averaging system for the high probability bounce back move.
Okay. Is that something that you do mostly intraday, or also on swing accounts?
I don't do it on swings. I want to, but I haven't gotten that. I haven't done it enough. I know some of the guys that I trade with, they do it on swings and they do very well with it, but I'm by nature a much more impatient person, which is why I found this strategy, which generally works in a faster time frame. So instead of trying to adapt myself and change myself to a strategy, I found one that is more in tune with who I am as a person.
Yeah, and that's super important, because at the end of the day, trading is very individual, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And so I'm taking you back a few years ago.
Hmm.
You're trading, you're trying different styles. How did you, reach to the point when you say, okay, I'm good with what I have right now? How do you go through? What's the path that you went through, basically?
Yeah, so it started pretty much, I think, how a lot of people start, where if you're going on YouTube and you see all the different traders and you see like some of the huge YouTube traders out there and they're doing like the penny stock to the moon stuff, and that gets you really excited into it because you see people take like very small-ish relatively accounts, and because they're taking these tiny little penny stocks, they can take big size and make big money
Yeah.
right away. But you quickly realize that for 99.9% of people, that is not a viable strategy that's going to work. So from there, I moved on to more of a continuation strategy, which worked for a little bit, but I could never quite really get it to be a long-term thing. It was always kind of like 50-50, and then that when the downswings would come, that would be hard to get through, and then it would be a grind back, and I was just like, I'm just treading water here. And that's eventually when I was like, all right, I need to stop just fighting this and doing what the masses tell me I should be doing, and I need to find something that I can adapt to myself and how I view things, and maybe works a little bit faster because I am such an impatient person, and that's how I eventually found what I do now.
Amazing. And you mostly trade a 1 minute chart?
Yeah, I trade the 1 minute chart. That's more of just a function of that's what I started with and learned on, and what I've done the entire time since. There's not really, I don't have like hard feelings or hard convictions of that's the chart you should be using. You can use 5 minute, 2 minute. That's just the one that I learned on.
Yeah.
And that's so I don't want to change that because it, I think, changed my views of what the chart looks like. I think the same move on a 2 minute and 5 minute chart would look different to me than it does on a 1 minute chart. So I don't want to take what I know works for me and then try and change it for some reason into something that looks different.
Yeah, that's 100%. Once you found your rhythm, you gotta stick to it and not try to play with it, because at the end it's a pattern recognition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your mind get used to a certain price action, and if you get familiar with it on a 1 minute chart, it will be totally different on a five.
Right.
For sure. Alrighty, Justin, good stuff. I'm gonna share my screen and show the guys at home your dashboard.
Okay.
Let's see how it looks like and what you did.
All
Um,
right.
okay, so basically that's it. For those of you not familiar, every trader gets his own dashboard, so you can track your stats. And this is basically the hub. If you go to all the funded traders, if you go to the achievements, you will see your funded certificate. You can of course share it online with your friends, or if you're an educator, you can do that as well. This is a stamp that you know what you're doing. And like I said before, you filled the first one, and on the second one you already made it. Let's look at the one that you passed. 50K account, $3,000 to the target, 6%. That's all. And you got $2,000 to lose on a max loss. We'll go over your trades in a second, but the first thing that comes in mind is this one right here.
Right.
The risk reward is a 0.3, but the success rate,
Yeah.
what's going on here? Share with us.
Yeah. Well, that's where a lot of people generally kind of, if they see me, sometimes they're like, "What are you doing? Your losses can be much bigger than your wins." I'm like, "Well, yes, absolutely they can, but that's built into the strategy because, in my opinion, that your risk reward ratio isn't a standalone number. You have to factor in your win percent with it because, and when, like you said earlier, one thing I always say is there's 1,000 ways to trade out there, and the only one that is the right one is the one that works for you. And
Yeah,
so, if you know your risk reward to win percent ratio, you can have, like I do, the ability to have your loss be substantially bigger than your wins and still win overall because of your win percentage. So, and it's the vice versa is correct. Also, you could have a low win percentage, but if your wins are much higher than your losses, you're going to be able to win as well. I just like winning and don't like losing, and I'm impatient. So that's
yeah.
why I have this particular model.
It's always a tricky one, right? Because on one end, you go for a higher success rate with a lower risk reward, but once you do have those losing trades, they could be they could take a lot of the profit that you already made, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
But that's also where trade the pool kind of helps a little bit. And when people, if they try to do a strategy similar to mine, if they don't have like a hard stop loss number implemented into their account, it may be tougher because you get so used to winning that sometimes you would just let the loser go and go and go, thinking eventually it's going to work because you're so used to winning. Whereas you need to have that hard type stop loss number in there, otherwise you can really get hurt by it.
Yeah, that's very important what you just mentioned. It's super easy, especially as you said, when you win in so many times, it's super easy to become addicted to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when the bad trade come, or the losing trade, it's easier to blow the account.
Yes, very much.
Um, Alrighty. Looking at your trades, I do see a lot of small caps, but also from time to time you do have those classic ones like CSIQ, or I saw the other one here,
Yeah.
$50 stock. Tell me a little bit about that. What are you looking for basically? Why is it small caps, but also mid, large cap?
Yeah, so I don't really uh, care exactly what the price level of the stock is. I care more about what move it is making. So my scanner is going to show me, all the price ranges of stocks, and it's going to show me which ones are making the intense moves. I'm then going to take a look at it. I'm going to look at the range of the move, the range that are in the candles, how fast it is. I'm going to look at the daily chart, see is it, breaking out to new highs? Is there earnings today? Something along those lines that's making it make this move, or is it truly an unnatural, big, intense move? And that happens on stocks of all prices. It doesn't really matter. Now, I see it tend to happen a bit more in the lower price ones because you get those pump and dumps a lot more, I think, in the lower price ones that aren't the big blue chip stocks. And sometimes the blue chip ones, they will do the dumps to the downside more for longs than they will shorts. I generally like shorts better because shorts work faster, longs take longer, in my opinion, for the way that I trade. But as long as it's making the correct type of move, I don't generally care what the price is. You just have to then get your sizing right based on the underlying stock price.
Yeah, agree. Totally agree with that. And yeah, you've been with us for a short amount of time, but tell me what you experienced on traded pool comparing to trading your own capital. What's the difference?
Yeah, I think it was just at first it was because I've been doing my own thing my own way with my one account for so long. There's a little bit of a learning curve just because when you change platforms and you have a different type of account, it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve overall, and making sure you're getting your sizing right and learning how to use the system and how everything gets worked and gets filled. And one of the things that I actually found that I liked is because of the way that I enter trades with limits. I generally don't have them sitting out waiting. I generally wait until it hits a level with a limit number, and then I will hit the button once it gets through that level. And I was finding that I was actually getting a lot of better fills with Trade the Pool because it wasn't seeking out my individual order, at least for the eval, and I would get a better fill either up or down a lot of the times. But then you also have to keep in mind when you are like going to finish the trade, that's also going to affect how you finish the trade. So you've got to wait for either the bid or the ask to get there. So it's just a little bit of a learning curve, I think, in the beginning to get that and through my head compared to like my normal account that I use.
On the level of risk in the capital?
Yeah, the risk in the capital and then how the fills were working because say I have a similar sized account, but it's like a 4-to-1. So essentially the other account is maybe 4 times the buying power of this one. So I had to, in my brain, get through cutting my normal trade size on that any particular stock into 25% of what I would have had in my regular account. But then at the same time, I was able to trade some stocks that my other account maybe didn't have shares available on or something like that. So it was kind of just a learning curve all over the place in the beginning.
And you're basically trying to copy both accounts? Is that
No, I kind of adapted not taking the same stock in both accounts. I kind of went to the super lower price stuff in my regular account and some of the higher stuff I started doing in the trade the pool account just because if there was one that was going to lose, I didn't want to have to lose both accounts. So, I was at least had the option if I was going to have a red trade, then maybe the other account that I had was going to be green that day and it wouldn't feel, as bad. So kind of split them up like that.
got it? Got it. Alrighty, any tips or tricks for a new guy that comes to trade a pool and wanna pass the evaluation?
Yeah, I mean, I would say definitely it's better to start, and this is why I wanted to try it and see how it was as well, because if you're doing just like a regular paper trading account, sure, it's going to teach you some things, but it's never going to have any percent of emotions associated with it. Where you can do something like a trade the pool account where you're not going to have your full huge capital invested that you would need for your own personal account, but you are still going to have money invested in it to buy the evaluation and try to get to the funded stage. So if you're just learning, it's a great way to limit your risk on your capital side while still importing those emotions into your actual trading that you wouldn't get out of like just a paper account. So I think it's really good for that to teach people who are new and to actually experience some of the emotions that you go through when you're trading, because it's always 1,000,000% different when you actually move to real money from just paper trading and trying to learn, because those emotions take over and it's the hardest part about trading. So when you can have something like this where you do import some of those emotions into your trading while you're learning, I think it really helps people.
Yeah, 100%. Amazing, Justin. Very good stuff. I'm sure the guys that just listened will enjoy it. Thanks, of course, for coming again.
Yeah, no problem.
And for those of you who want to check us out, go to tradethepool.com. Justin, where can the other guys can watch you?
I'm on YouTube, GDT Stock Trading, or if you look up Garage Day Trader, you'll find me.
All righty. Good stuff. Take care, guys. We'll see you in the next video.
Thank you. So there you have it, a little inside look into the entire process that I've gone through here with Trade the Pool, how I trade. Of course, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You can either leave them down in the comments below, or you can email me directly at garagedaytrader@gmail.com. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's certainly longer than the ones I normally put out, but hey, that's what you got to do sometimes to get the information out there. So good luck with your trading.